We are back.
Hey.
What's going on, everybody?
Hello, folks.
I feel like it's been a while since I've sat and stared at a camera lens for.
It's been a month, Andy.
It's been a month since we've done this.
Yep. And the people missed us. That's what I'm guessing. The people were missing every moment.
I know I've been missing doing this.
I have too.
Have you?
I love it.
You like?
It's fun.
Sitting here and listening to us talk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like hearing me.
What have you been up to?
Not much.
Yeah?
Not this. Just other things.
What has your last month been like? You've been traveling, man.
Well, I wouldn't say I've been a traveling man. We traveled last week.
Yeah.
A little bit. Yeah, family
we went on a little,
went
didn't you
to
go up north and on a little vacation too?
Well, yeah, we went 2 days up. Yeah, we got 2 days up north and got like the beginning of the month. That's late July, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, that was nice.
I don't remember the last time we did this.
I know. It's been a while. Yeah, last week we went to Oregon, or as people in Minnesota call it, Oregon.
Oregon.
It's Oregon, like your kidneys or something.
But
That's
it's
how you
the
say
Oregon Trail, like the game.
Yeah, that's because it was made by a guy from Minnesota, wasn't it?
Was it?
I think it was.
Ooh, I didn't
I
know
believe so. Fact checked on us.
Yeah,
No.
somebody.
How do you say that word? Fact checked us on that. Andy Rubel is gone.
Yeah.
He's our fact check guy. But I'm pretty sure.
He probably already knows that.
I want to say it was a teacher in like St. Paul or something like that.
Okay. I didn't know that.
I could be making this up on the fly.
If you know who created the Oregon Trail,
Oregon.
yeah,
He probably died of dysentery. Trying to forge the river.
I had a friend who she moved out there, and when she came back to visit, she made this really strong point of correcting how you say it.
Mm-hmm.
Oregon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're like, I'm a Minnesotan. What are you if you live in Oregon?
Oregonian. Right?
So why wouldn't you say it's Oregon?
Oregonian. Because Oregonian sounds weird.
Okay.
Right? You can't say it that way. Oregonian.
So you were out there for
My niece Brianna's wedding to a young man named Caleb, who was a good lad. But yeah, had a good time.
That's a good
Good lad. He's a good lad. He's a good guy. Comes from a great family, and isn't that like what you're supposed to say? Like, comes from good lineage, or is that just with dogs?
or
Yeah, good line.
Sports.
Yeah,
athletes.
good pedigree.
Yeah.
Good. He's got a good pedigree. His dad played minor league baseball, and you hear that a lot in sports.
Yeah.
Well, and maybe it means something. I mean, look at the amount of kids that are playing MLB now. Like, guys that we grew up watching now have kids who are stars.
Yeah.
And taking over the league. I mean, there's a ton of them.
Yeah, I think MLB went through a little drought previous to maybe last year for like 5 or 6 years where it was just kind of ho-hum.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing terrible, but just kind of baseball as is. But these last 2 years with, like you said, all these young guys who are
so many
kids,
good young players,
former baseball players that are just lighting the league on fire. It's crazy.
I feel like it was kind of a novelty, like when we were younger. Like you had King Griffey Jr., you had Barry Bonds, the son of Bobby Bonds, and that was kind of it. I'm not it. I mean, there were others, but it was kind of like it was a big deal. It was like a novelty, and of course, those two guys are two of the greatest players ever. But now it's like every team there's a junior or a kid of like a legit major league player from the '90s.
So your niece's new husband is his dad worth anything?
Worth anything? I'm sure he's worth something.
I don't know. You said he.
So this is why. So in our line
lineage.
of work, Andy, this is why he comes from good lineage, good stock. His dad is in the ministry. His dad's a pastor. His dad is actually like a church planting catalyst for the SBC, the Send network up for Oregon and Washington. So just got to chat with him for a little bit, and good dude, and doing some good stuff up there in the Pacific Northwest.
What does this young lad do for a living?
Caleb does some like graphic design stuff, some photography, and he just got a job, and I can't tell you what it is.
Okay.
No, not like secret. I just don't know. I can't. Like I would tell you. I'm not sure exactly. No, but he's a pretty talented guy. He's a talented photographer and graphic design type stuff. So, so they're great kids. They met in college at California Baptist University, and you know who is someone worth noting who attended that university?
You.
Yep.
Okay. Good guess.
Yeah. You know who else? Someone else you know.
Your wife. Your mom.
Jordan went to Cal State Fullerton.
Oh, she went
Baseball.
to Fullerton?
Baseball factory,
it's
yeah.
baseball city.
Yeah,
That's
is.
Awesome. That Augie Garita, right?
Yep.
I love Augie Garita.
Have you heard of a guy named Rick Warren?
Yes.
Cal Baptist alum.
Okay.
That's why Cal Baptist is expanding beyond belief.
Because of Rick Warren?
Yeah, they're getting that
I thought
purpose-driven
it was
money.
because of you.
And me,
Oh, okay.
but mostly Rick Warren.
So you...
I would say it's probably 99.99% Rick Warren and maybe 0.001% me.
if that.
Maybe a small percentage of that 0.01.
So having spent time, excuse me,
You okay?
on the West Coast
Yeah.
and growing up in California, how often have you ever been to Oregon?
That was my third time going to Oregon.
You like Oregon?
Yeah, I do. But I liked it. This time, I think it really stuck out to me more. I liked it. I liked it before, but what really hit me is the one thing I miss from California is the mountains, because it just dominates the landscape there, you know. And so we grew up with it, the mountains, and so now living in Minnesota, and I love Minnesota, but there's no mountains in Minnesota.
Nope.
And so there's a few small rolling hills here and there. You might get lucky and find one. But yeah, the mountains and just the big pine, evergreens. And dude, we went last Friday. We went to Multnomah Falls, and it's just like this half an hour drive down the freeway, but you're going along the Columbia River and the Columbia River Gorge area. I mean, it's just beautiful, like these cliffs and the river's there, and then you park, and then there's this huge waterfall, and you could hike up, and it was cool. Like most of the family and extended family all went and just had a great time. And my son Asher, and then my father-in-law, and then one of my nephews, Lee, who's a high school sophomore this year, no, junior this year. They hiked to the top, all the way to the top, and Asher
Were
was
these
super
the pictures
excited.
that I saw on Facebook that you put up?
Probably. Was it a giant waterfall?
Yes.
Yep, that's the one.
Okay. Yeah. If you want to check out what Greg's
yeah.
talking about, go to his Facebook page. You can see pictures.
Yeah, if you're not friends with me, friend me, and I'll probably accept it. Unless you're an imposter, don't. But Asher was super excited because he had like 21,000 steps. He has a Fitbit, and he likes looking at steps. And my father-in-law was all, "How does he get 21,000 and I only have 10,000?" I'm like, "Because you're 6'4", and Asher's small.
Takes 2 or 3 steps.
Yeah. And then the next night at the wedding, at the reception, the kids all were like just dancing the whole time. So Asher had like another 21,000 steps like on that day. So he's super pumped about that.
Any videos of you dancing?
No,
Okay.
none whatsoever.
Shoot.
No.
So you went out there. You came back. You came back like Monday or Tuesday this week. Sunday?
We got back like really late Sunday night.
Okay.
So,
All right. That's good.
yeah.
Yeah, you missed an interesting weekend this last weekend.
Yeah. Was it?
Yeah.
Lots of rain.
A lot of rain.
It's like first time all summer it rained.
It was probably the lowest attended weekend
Yeah.
of the
I saw that. Ever.
post quarantine. Yeah, it was interesting, but it was good. And we got one more week here of summer series before we start kicking it into the fall.
Labor
but I
Day
don't want to
weekend.
get there yet.
Labor Day weekend.
Yes.
You know what happened on Labor Day weekend? Many, many years ago.
No.
I was born on Labor Day
Oh yeah.
weekend.
Speaking of tomorrow, it's your birthday,
Speaking of tomorrow, tomorrow is my birthday.
isn't it?
Yeah.
September 3rd.
Yep.
Yeah.
It sure is.
So wish Greg a happy birthday. I'm not.
Yeah.
Gonna
And then look at my Oregon pictures.
Yeah.
Oregon.
Excited about your birthday? Do anything special?
Coming here. I don't know.
Work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Birthdays stop getting special once you're like, what? Well, I guess 21. It's like
Is that the-
18's a big one. 19, what's 19 and 20? Really nothing.
Well, it's
Then
the
21.
25 when you can rent a car.
Yeah, but even that, you could rent a car when you're younger. It just, they charge you more.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Okay.
But,
never tried.
Is that really something to strive for, though? Yeah, I could rent a car.
I don't know. I think
My
it's.
auto insurance is cheaper.
I still, when I go to Hawaii, I'm 43 years old. When I go to Hawaii, I still get excited
Yeah.
at the fact I'm renting a
Yeah,
car. I'm like,
yeah.
ooh, I'm renting a
Wait,
car.
you don't need my mom and dad here to do this? Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is kind of fun to rent a car because you're like,
Is it crazy? I was talking to like several people I've talked to this summer. They were talking about renting cars and how expensive
Yeah.
it was. Why do you think that is?
because they sold all their cars last year. The rental companies did.
Oh, to try to stay afloat?
Yeah, they sold off all their cars, and then there was a huge backlog or whatever on inventory with new vehicles. They couldn't
Because of production.
because computer chips and stuff were not coming in from overseas. So, yeah, so it's a demand issue.
Yeah. Well, I know the used car
Yep.
market is pretty crazy right
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
could be. I know a guy. I could ask him.
Yeah. We're
Yeah.
brothers from another mother.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, cousins or something. Yeah.
So you're back. It's your birthday tomorrow. Ben and Terry are officially back. They kind
They
of
are. Yeah.
cease and desist their sabbatical
Ceased
just a
and
little
desist.
earlier than what they were expecting. But it's not a big. I don't think they're
They're back in the office a couple days this week, but then gone this weekend.
okay.
right?
You're
Yeah.
gonna try to get up north one more time.
Well, Ben has a there's a
Oh,
family friend or something
that's
they're
right.
doing a
A
funeral
funeral.
for. So
Yeah,
yeah.
there's been a lot of those this last month,
Mm-hmm.
which is partly why we have not been able to do this podcast, is because a lot of those memorial services happened on Thursday,
Yeah.
and they ended right around the time that we would normally do this, and we didn't want to be all setting up for
Telling
this and be like, "Hey, what's up?"
Stupid anecdotes and stuff while the people are
Yeah, just trying to be respectful.
Right.
So now that Ben and Terry are back, your post is officially over.
Oh, jeez. Stop.
You are. What was it like being the man?
Why do you ask me this all the time?
I don't know.
I never have been, nor will I ever be the man.
Oh, you were. No, you were this summer. If you
I
had to
told you
go
the
and
same
attend
thing.
the overseer meetings, that means you're the man.
Okay. It
The
means
man in
I'm
charge.
a man.
Yep.
I felt going to an overseer meeting the same way that you described feeling renting a car.
Like
whoa,
you're
whoa,
grown
I
up.
could do this. I'm allowed to
Yeah,
be
you're
here.
grown up.
Yeah. No, no, it was great. I mean, like I said, man, it's like
We got a good.
we're all grown
team.
ups. We have a good team. We have a good staff. Everyone does their job. It's like, yeah, that just got kind of crazy last week with COVID stuff like ramping up around this area.
Yeah.
So in the community and amongst a lot of Northridgers. So, but that was kind of my way out of town when all
Yeah,
that
I know.
literally.
I felt like I was the one who was having to deal with it all.
No, it's it's
Because Ben and
literally
Terry
like
hadn't
on the
officially come
plane.
back. You were leaving town.
Yeah,
and
I'm
was
out of
trying to
here. I don't want none of this.
keep things together to actually make a weekend happen here.
Yeah.
You know, our
We made it happen.
original preacher for the weekend, he got COVID. And
Yep.
we were waiting for Brax to see if he was going to come back with a positive test.
Yeah.
I was actually going to, like, the worst case scenario was I was just going to get up there and just wing it and do more of like an ask me anything sermon.
I would have loved to see
That
that.
would have been like dangerous. I could have, maybe lost my job.
If I knew that was going to happen, if that would have happened, I would have skipped my niece's wedding to watch.
Weren't you
On YouTube.
doing it? No, you weren't doing it.
No, no, no.
You were just
There,
attending.
Caleb's dad.
You could have
did
just
the
had your
wedding, but
Bluetooth on and your cell phone.
Mhm.
You could just watch it.
Yeah.
on your-
it was cell phones had to be put away. No cell phones for the service, for
Why?
the ceremony. I liked it because they didn't want, as like the wedding party, as the bride and everything's coming down, they didn't want this everywhere with.
With the video that
With-
was being taken.
Yeah, and they had their own photographer, and and that, but they didn't want everyone with phones out and blocking it, which was really nice. Like, just instinctively, you gotta go to reach for your phone every once in a while. Oh, take a picture or something, and I may have snuck a
Whoa.
picture. I didn't tell my sister or my niece. My daughter was the flower girl, so I had to kind of do one of these kind of. And yeah, I had to. Sorry, not sorry. Yeah. What are they gonna do now, huh?
Yeah, they're gonna
Yeah.
fire you as
Yeah.
uncle.
And then the boys stole the show at the
the
dance
wedding?
at the reception.
I'm sure
man.
Evan-
Just like that kid, so funny. He was on my phone at the reception at the table, like playing games because he's bored. I get it, like
I'm an
there's
adult and I
nothing to
get bored.
do.
at
I
weddings.
know. And then my niece did a mother-daughter dance, which was like very touching. Like, she picked a song, didn't tell my sister, and it was "Fix You" with Coldplay, and my
Coldplay.
sister starts bawling. And then they have it was really special, really cool moment. Just them two dancing and they're crying, and just kind of like, it was just really cool. It was like this. It was a hard day, I think, emotionally for my sister, because it was like there's a definite feel I get from Lori of like she's passing on her little girl, and they're very close. And so it was just this touching moment. And then toward the end of the song, my sister invited up like whoever. And so like my other two sisters, my mom, my aunt, like Another really good family friend that my younger sister's best friend that, her kids call her Aunt Carrie. And so they're all up there just kind of circled and huddled around. And then the song ends. And then the DJ says, hey, we're going to open up for just dancing for everyone now. And turns on Bruno Mars, 24 Karat Magic. And a couple of years ago, Evan heard that song. We were at this USC, this bowl game, like football band competition thing with Ohio State and USC bands. It was just a fun pep rally thing, right? And the DJ's playing and that song comes on. And Evan, like, I don't know, 5-year-old Evan at the time, is out there just dancing, like doing the robot. He's got a kind bar and he's sneaking bites and, it's just funny, Evan. But that song starts coming on and Evan's sitting there playing a game. I was like, Evan, it's your jam. And he slowly puts the phone down and he does one of these knuckle crack thing, which I've never, ever seen him do before. And then he did the neck crack. And then he slowly gets up and, I don't know, the song?
A little bit.
It starts with the slower kind of like old school R&B, kind of like slow, intro. And he just slowly stands up and he waits for the song to kick in and boom, runs for the dance floor and just starts going for it. And like all the ladies were still just standing up there and they all just start busting up laughing and everyone's like cheering. And then Asher was right behind him. And and then everyone just kind of went up and had fun. It's a fun wedding. It's beautiful, beautiful setting and all that. So yeah.
Cool.
Good times. While you were here in the rain and trying to make church happen.
Yep, and avoid all the sicky.
Yeah. All the sicky foods.
Have I asked you this? Have you ever wanted to start your own church? Would you ever plan your own church? Have I asked you that?
I don't know if you've asked me that. I've considered it.
Considered it?
My wife has other thoughts.
Okay. Oh, yeah, you know what? I think now
Yeah.
I remember that.
I was actually asked
that
about that,
comment.
like coming out of seminary, asked about the potential and possibility when we were first moving out here and was supposed to meet with someone that a seminary professor linked me up with, like a church planting catalyst out here. And it was just one of those things where like we had a very small window to meet and then something happened and we couldn't meet. And then it was just like, that's the end of that. And I accepted a job at another church. And so, yeah, that's about that.
What do you think would be the best part of kind of being the church planter or planting your own church? Because everything else is hard.
Yeah, no,
Everything it's very difficult. It's
yeah,
very
I've been.
challenging, and it's something that you can't take lightly. But
So I think I would say just some of those first like big celebratory moments would be really satisfying. I feel like
what?
when God just does something and maybe you have like your first worship service where there's whatever your marker is, there's over 25 or 50 or whatever in your head is like, oh, it'd be cool if we had 50 people here, and you hit it, it'd be like, dude, we had 50 people, or you were able to have someone like start something for kids or youth or have your first youth event. Some of those big firsts I think would be fun. Yeah.
What would be like the number one, other than your wife? Sorry, Jordan. The number one reason why you would like just not really want to plant a church at all?
Well, first, let me say Jordan is very quick to say, no, I don't want to do that. Like for a lot of things, but then she's also more than maybe anyone else I've ever met, able to come back later and say, you know what, maybe, and then her first response is like, no, I don't think I would like that, and then I think she allows God to really like speak to her and work on it. And not saying she would change, she changes her mind all the time, but she at least like will kind of soften. So we haven't talked about church planting ever really since 2008. So
2008. Oh, that one
yeah.
time.
Okay.
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
Yeah.
I have probably very different kinds of thoughts about
Yeah.
creating like the structure of the church, I think would be interesting to think about, and to be a part of the ground
Yeah,
floor.
that's the other
of
thing I was
that.
going to say. Like the clean slate idea of like you can create it, kind of really tailor it to who you are and your, how God's wired you, as the leader of that.
Although I would say, being here at Northridge, of any other churches that I've ever been a part of, and maybe you can, echo the same experiences you've had because you've worked in a number of different churches. By and large, from a structural concept and process and all that kind of stuff, I think the way Northridge has operated with their leadership, pastors, and kind of top down, I think it's by far the best, healthiest leadership I've ever been a part of.
Yeah. No, I agree with that 100%.
And I know we always get frustrated with our people that are, in authority over us, but I've never felt like there's been anything weird or anything. Like even with all the stuff that came out this last weekend, I don't want to get into talking about anything controversial, but never felt like the overseers were a group that I could not feel like I couldn't trust.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, and I think part of that is because the leadership, like whether it's lay leaders, overseers, or if it's, ministry staff, they're people that are approachable and like are involved in the ministry, and so you could trust them, But by far the healthiest church environment that I've been part of. So
yeah. Well, speaking of Northridge stuff, I had another question I wanted to run by you later on, but
one thing though because you referenced like this weekend, with COVID stuff and masks and all that, and people, we all have different opinions, and I just want to say it's really hard. It's really hard to make decisions for groups like this, like because we all have our own opinions, we all have our own feelings about things. No matter where you land on any of that stuff, you have your own opinion, but you have to in leadership, and when you're leading in any leadership role over a crowd or group or of some sort, it's hard. It's really difficult, and you have to really consider groups as a whole rather than your own wants and needs and likes and dislikes. And so for that, it's hard. It's hard stuff. So
to make the best decision for the largest amount of people, that's a very challenging thing. I would not want to be. I'm glad there's other people,
right?
And because I wouldn't want to be on that group of people to have to make those really hard decisions, then in some way I have to position myself in a place of trust of those people who are making those hard decisions. And I know that's really difficult. Like for me, I'm a very independent person.
Right. Same.
I'm single.
You're American.
I don't have.
You're American.
I'm American. Yeah. I don't have a lot of checks and balances I have to do in just my own personal life in making decisions. But when you talk about surrendering your own will to a higher up body, you just have to let go and be okay with whatever the decisions are. Especially if, like for me, I have no desire to be in that position of. That's one of the reasons I wouldn't want to be a part of a church plant, is because of all those are hard. Those are the kind of positions you're in to have to make those hard decisions that affect, the most amount of people. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to make decisions that benefit the most amount of people. And I know that there's the edges of, I feel like this, and I have these ideas over here, and on the same opposite side of the spectrum over here, but what's this big, large group in the middle? So pray for your overseer team, and engage them in conversation. That's always the best way, is just talk. If you want, if you're really questioning and wondering about stuff, just talk to them. They're on our website. You can find who they are. You can email them right from there.
Yeah.
Or if you know who they personally, just
Grab
go
'em
and
on the
talk to them.
weekend. Talk to them, yeah. And one other factor, though, with that is like in a church, there's another big factor that we have to consider. I know at least maybe not all churches think this way, but at Northridge we definitely think this way. Is what's the best decision for the group of people, but also it's really important, like how, especially in this kind of the COVID, realm of decision making and all that stuff. I think it's really important how the community views what the church is doing also, the community at large, because part of our role.
Talking about like the Rogers community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the potential people that we're trying to reach, that might have opinions. And so either way, there's something that as a church we need to consider also that's beyond just, what me and the other people I hang out with on the weekend here, it's so layered, I guess is my point. It's difficult. It's not easy. And often decisions are lose-lose. So it's hard we got to try to figure out, okay, what's the win in here, so anyway, enough about that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, just all I would say is just pray.
Yeah.
Maybe before you, that's one thing I have to do. And and smaller things, Greg will always say, yeah, I'm used to it, because I would respond and react to something, and then I'd come back and I'd peel back my attitude a little
Sorry,
bit. And I'd be
man,
like,
I was
hey,
a
I'm
little
sorry.
grumpy.
And he'll say something like, I'm used to it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's for me, because I do have strong opinions and I have thoughts about everything. Maybe instead of just, yeah, you do. He does too. He just isn't as impulsive as I am. But maybe before you,
we got coffee over
go
here.
off and, off camera. Coffee.
Can we hear this?
ASMR. That's, yeah. Pray about it before you respond, maybe. Before you think, it's important to share your ideas and opinions. Just pray about it. And I don't mean that to be some cliche Christian thing.
Yeah.
For me, what it does at the very least is it just dulls my harshness a little bit.
Yeah.
And it brings me into kind of a place of how does God want me to approach this whole thing? And how does he want me to look at it? How does he want me to interact with other people about it? And then at the very least, I'm just lifting up the people who are tasked with having to make those hard decisions, and the anxiety and the stress that they, that's brought on them for having to be in that position.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, so we got some stuff coming up, some really exciting things. It's going to start to get busy, hopefully, around here, even with all the stuff going on. School's starting up again, all this craziness. So the big thing here at Northridge, you can see the sign right above Greg's shiny head. The Northridge State Fair. Talk to us about the State Fair, Greg. We were in a meeting where...
The Northridge State Fair is our theme for the block party this year. So the block party is just this fun, awesome community gathering that we invite people to, a big outreach event, and it's free, it's fun, lots of food, games, activities for the whole family to enjoy. And it's a state fair theme this year. So we got pork chops on a stick, we got mini donuts, we got, what else? I'm drawing a blank. A kiddie parade. We got a band.
It says right here.
We got a band.
Corn
so that's
dogs,
like
hot dogs.
Oh, corn dogs. There we
fresh baked chocolate chip cookies.
go. Oh yeah, sweet
corn on the
Martha's.
cob.
Yep.
Unlimited fresh mini donuts.
Unlimited.
From 12 to 3.
Yeah, oh my
Unlimited.
goodness. For 3 hours, all the mini donuts you can eat.
Should tell your kids about that.
How many mini donuts do you think you can eat in 3 hours without throwing
Me?
up? Yeah.
I'd probably only eat like 5.
Yeah, same. I'm not a huge donut
They
guy.
smell
Like,
fantastic.
yeah, they do.
It's just like
They taste good, but it's
Yeah.
law of diminishing returns kicks in quick,
Right.
I think, with donuts, to me.
Yeah, I'd probably
Like, yeah.
over the 3 hours, I'd probably eat a couple an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm there.
yeah.
My kids would probably eat a whole bag.
I'd
every
probably
couple
want to eat more
minutes.
corn on the cob than donuts.
Yeah,
because I love.
so would I.
I'm more of a salty.
Roasted,
anyway.
like corn. Oh, man.
Yeah,
Roasted sweet corn.
And we got-
oh,
it's all the corn's being provided by a local farmer. You were just interacting with him on Facebook Messenger the other
Yeah.
day, trying to making sure that
Yeah.
everything's in order. So I'm really
gonna be
excited
awesome.
about that.
it's going to be picked fresh.
Yep, local. It's cool.
Farm to table? No, farm to
face.
Yeah, farm to face. There it is. Skip
So what
the
else
table.
we got going on for this?
Yeah,
block
just
party.
games, activities. Yesterday, Terry Gilsrud told us. Terry Gilsrud, by the way, who is our events coordinator, does a fabulous job putting all this stuff together, and thinks through all these details. But yesterday, she told us about some fun stuff. There's a ninja obstacle course thing going on. There's yeah, that's right there on the sign too. You missed it. Not there. There. Where I just saw it. Ninja something. I saw it. Where are you? Maybe it's
Wait,
not.
like the
Maybe it's-
American Ninja.
Ninja obstacle course. There it is. Mini golf. Tee targets. Bigfoot. What?
Wait, is the
Bigfoot?
Ninja course for like kids or adults?
I mean, you decide. You push the kids away and go for it.
All right. What's the
Pork Chop Speedway. Start your engines. I mean, what
does
is
that
all
mean?
this stuff? Off to the races. Ninja obstacle. Dunk bucket.
so these are the midway games?
TP toss.
TP toss.
Toilet paper
Toilet
toss.
paper.
Hope it's
Yeah.
not used.
Good thing there's not a shortage this year like there was last year.
Yeah, now we're just like reveling in all of our toilet paper abundance. Tee targets. I don't know what that is. Is that like a golf tee thing? Like, anyway,
Well, there's mini golf.
there's mini golf.
What's
but,
Bigfoot?
I don't know. It sounds interesting.
Maybe Bigfoot is real.
Maybe. We have
I
a
hope
band.
so.
We got live music.
We do.
Like the midway. You got the concert, right? Is that
Yep.
the midway?
Yeah, they're gonna be
Yeah.
playing off and on throughout the
Yeah.
whole day. It's a
Concrete
group called
Jesus.
Concrete Jesus. I think they do mostly like cover of Christian,
Mm-hmm.
most popular
Like
Christian music. stuff like
KTIS
that.
type
Yep.
music. Yep.
Heard they're really good.
We got a couple of Northridgers that are
Yep.
in that band.
Kate and the drummer from last weekend, Kevin Worthington.
Yeah.
He's the drummer, so
That'd
that's
be
gonna be
awesome.
sweet. We're gonna give some prizes away.
Some prizes.
Yeah,
Kitty parade. Kids get to dress up and march around and yeah.
yeah. Which we
Cool.
still need the parade marshal or whatever you would call it, the person to kind of lead them around. So if you're
Silly
if you're
hair.
interested, silly hair.
There's a
you're
silly hair booth. I feel
really into
attacked.
that, aren't you?
I feel attacked.
If you're left out.
Kids fun. Oh.
What if we just painted your head? Just give you like a head
just like
tattoo.
black with the and then just make the eight ball thing right
Whatever.
there.
Or we could do like maroon and gold.
Nah,
Like SC.
that's not maroon, dude.
What is it?
Cardinal and gold.
Cardinal. Excuse me.
Get it right.
Looks like maroon,
it's
doesn't
a
it?
little more red than maroon.
Is it?
Yeah.
Maybe it's just my
Mhm.
TV colors.
It's your TV. Get it adjusted. Maybe it's your eyes.
Have a great day. I have a great TV.
Body art,
Body art?
washable tattoos.
Ooh,
Yes.
I want a washable tattoo.
Yep. So that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll get that on my head.
Yeah, like Mike Tyson.
We're not doing face paint because of the proximity.
Sure.
It's we were talking about doing face paint, and then someone wisely pointed out who does face painting, like
It's a very hard social distancing
yeah, it's
activity.
kind of maybe not a good idea to do that.
Yeah.
Oh,
That makes
why?
sense.
That's so obvious, and why didn't we think of that? But yeah, but lots of other stuff.
It's too bad
It's gonna
because
be
you could
fun.
have had like the full face shield and done some. I don't know.
There's gonna be lots to do.
Right.
Lots to do.
Maybe
Andy.
just a risk that's better
Mhm.
not taking. Anything else about the block party? 11 to 3 on the
Yeah.
11th of
On the
September. It's a Saturday.
Next Saturday. The weather's gonna be
Wait,
awesome.
Next is in a week from this
Yeah.
coming Saturday.
Yeah,
Okay, you scared me for a moment.
not this Saturday.
Not
That's
this Saturday,
the
but
following.
the following
Yeah.
Saturday.
The 11th.
The 11th. and it's all free here
All
in our
free.
parking lot. Invite. Who can you invite?
You can invite anybody that you
Neighbors,
want. Neighbors, friends, family,
coworkers,
coworkers, people you don't like,
friends from school,
friends from school, friends from a different school,
random people you meet down.
random people you meet down
at
the
Target.
road at Target.
We have a couple different
Yeah.
ways you can invite them.
Not people you meet at Walmart though. Only
Tell me why, Greg.
there's no reason. I was just trying to think of someone not to meet, and you said Target, so naturally I had to go opposite. But
There are
Anyway.
multiple. Let's move on. There's multiple ways you could let people know about this.
Yeah.
One, share the event on Facebook.
yeah, sure.
On
the
your
event.
page, you just go to the event. Greg set it up. I
Mhm.
think he posted it in the
The
NRF Life group
Yep.
this last week. If you just share that post, that's a great way. Everybody on your friends list will see it. Number
Here's the deal with the one in the Northridge Life group, because that's a private
you
group.
can't share that out of
Facebook doesn't give you a direct like little share button, right? That's visible that you could see. So, but there is a way to share it. You have to click
Click
the
on the
picture,
ev-
which is the event. It opens up, and then you'll see the 3 little dots somewhere on there. You click that, and then you see the little share arrow, share to my feed.
Okay.
And I put a little screen capture video of me doing that in the comments of that
Oh,
on the
fancy.
website. There you go.
So share
Yeah.
it on social media. That's number
Dang,
one.
you were almost speechless.
I am speechless. I was. I'm not anymore. The second way you can let people know about it is if you're here on the weekends, there's 2 things you can
Yeah.
grab. One is invite cards.
Mhm.
The invite cards will be kind of posted by
Yeah.
the doors on those little shelves
Also on the table.
on the table. There is also yard signs that you can grab.
Yeah.
And there were very few people here last weekend, so there's a lot of yard signs left.
Yeah.
And just take this last week and spam your yard with them, and do as much promoting as you can, and from your own house. And you go ahead and if you're here this weekend, just grab those yard signs.
Yeah.
Um,
Sweet.
And then just word of mouth. Just let
Mhm.
people know. We're
That's
also going to
fun.
be putting invite cards on cars and trying to invite the neighborhood and the people kind of who are circulate around this area, like at the school and all that kind of stuff. So there's all sorts of different ways.
Yeah.
Like I said, invite anybody you want. There's no cost. There's no obligation at all to come to a church service or anything like that either.
Yeah.
It's just fun, food, and hanging out, enjoying the nice weather,
Yep.
and it's going to be a blast.
Gonna be a blast. Gonna be a beautiful day, Andy. I'm telling you. It's probably gonna be like
You promise?
75
Promise me?
degrees, partly cloudy. Be perfect.
All right. Have you been out to the state fair this year
Nope.
yet? Okay.
Haven't.
You have plans to?
I have not gone to the state fair since we moved back to Minnesota. So we have not been to the state fair since 2013.
Okay.
And I don't know if we went that year. That's the year we moved to California. I'm gonna say Jordan
Well,
and
you had
I
little
went,
kids back
We
then.
did.
So I could see it not appealing.
but we got to go because Jordan's mom was in town and she gave us like a date day. She took care of the boys,
So you and Jordan just went.
and we went. I want to say 2012.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's been 9 years. There you go.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time I went to the fair.
I love the fair, and the reason why we haven't gone really is because the kids will just beg to go on the rides the whole time. They won't enjoy anything else,
Right.
and so
They were probably too young to really care about the awesome food.
yeah, they don't care. They don't eat
They
food,
just want
man.
the
My
cookies.
kids don't
Martha's
eat.
cookies, and then that's
They
about
don't
it.
eat food.
Yeah.
They don't eat anything. It's like, how can you go to the fair and not be gluttonous?
Yeah.
So, yeah, they might like the lumberjack stuff, you know, things like that, the baby animals, but whatever.
Yeah.
Someday.
Yeah, I don't have any plans to go to the fair. If you've been to the fair, just in the comment section, tell everybody what the best food to get out there is. And so one of the other things that's happening is with the block party, it signifies kind of our kickoff of all the fall activities. That includes the start of regular youth group on Wednesday nights, Eventually, the beginning of Kids Quest on Wednesday nights, pending the team is healthy. The start date for that, by the way, is still to be determined.
Yeah.
But
hopefully sometime in this fall coming.
Maybe towards the beginning of October, probably more likely. But small groups, starting up small groups.
Yeah.
Starting up a new series on the weekends.
Yes.
So there's a lot of beginnings of new stuff here that's sort of initiated by our kickoff and our block party.
Mm-hmm.
So this weekend in the atrium, there's going to be a couple tables with some information available. One is small group stuff.
Yep.
Talk about that, Greg.
Yeah, so for this weekend and next weekend, the next couple of weekends,
2 weekends,
we will have tables, and we have the small group board here in the atrium with cards with info on all the small groups that are offered, and we'll have some small group leaders here to answer questions if you have questions about small groups. But taking signups, and so the series this fall, the whole church is going into the series on the Gospel of Matthew. We're going as a church, so from littles, youth, adults, everybody going through Matthew. And so you're going to want to be a part of a small group, because what's talked about on the weekends is going to be from a specific chapter of Matthew. That discussion you could carry on into your small group, and your kids will be learning about it in their time, their classes and their time here. And so get into a small group, check one out. Last year we had the 300 people part of a small group, and part of that being many of those meeting online, and that was kind of odd, but people definitely are trying to connect. So that's the number one place you're going to connect with other people here at Northridge, is by joining a small group and maybe serving. But what's cool is, like, many of our small groups will serve together, or many of them serve in the same type of ministries. Like most of your small group is on stage together. Not most, excuse me, a good share of your small group.
Yeah, the
play in the
spouses-
worship team.
The spouses are not,
Yeah.
but
Not all, but like parts of the family.
which is funny, because we've never had a weekend where our small group has been the band together.
Yeah, but they're
I tried
out there,
doing that a
and
couple
they'll
weeks ago,
sprinkle
and then they
around,
all said they had other things to
and
do.
you know how those music people are,
know,
though,
they're
man. They're flaky.
Love you.
We're used to it.
I'm used to it.
Kidding.
So, and there's all sorts of small groups.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, we're all going to try to go through Matthew together.
Yeah.
But in terms of the context,
Yeah.
the day, the other people that are in it, in terms of the age group,
Mm-hmm.
place in life, virtual, in person, all that kind of
across the board.
stuff.
Yep.
Child
There's
care,
some,
no child
yeah.
care.
I want to talk about a couple fun thing, a couple of different types of groups I'm excited for, because most of our groups are defined as just an adult small group at Northridge. Isn't a married group. It's not a couples group. It's mixed adults. Anyone could join, and many of them have childcare. They meet different times and days throughout the week, different locations. A few of them use the church building. Most of them use someone's home to meet. But then we have some, I think, I got to recount, I think we have 6 women's groups that are going to be going, which is cool. And then men's groups specific. But there's a couple of groups actually just kind of confirmed yesterday and today, these 2. One, I'm kind of excited about this one. One, I want to see if it's going to be awesome or disastrous.
I'm intrigued.
I'm glad. We have a couple who is going to lead a group that's a family group. So kids involved, not kids like separate or kids in childcare or anything, but all involved, kids involved in the prayer time, the discussion. And I think this is a great time to try that, because we're all doing Matthew together. It's an all place. So the kids, what they're learning in their classes, maybe they'll be able to contribute to a discussion. And I think that's just kind of, it's going to be cool. I'm interested to see how that plays out. And then there's another group that's meeting in Buffalo. So in person in Buffalo, we got a small handful of people and Buffalo and Rockford and that area, but they're doing something where they're gonna do Bible study, but then on 1 week the men and women are gonna kind of go separate for fellowship and prayer time together, and then one of the weeks a month they're gonna be serving in their community together. And so there's different dynamics like that. Some of our groups, like Dan Munson and Jim Sethney, have a men's group that's been met for years here on Wednesday nights, and they serve once a month at Cross. And there are a lot of groups that serve together like that. But there's a few different dynamics coming in that I'm interested to see how it all plays out.
Cool.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm left out of the family small group with all the kids and all
Why?
that stuff. I don't know. I don't
You're
feel
Uncle
like I
Andy.
could go.
You could just pop in and hey everybody,
But
cool
that does
guy
sound like a
with your
really
guitar and
it
everything.
almost sounds like a new church, kind of like the New Testament style house church.
Oh
type
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Sounds
Kinda,
really cool
yeah.
idea. I'm hoping that. You know what I'd like to do is I'd love to go over there sometime, and just videotape. So if you're
Do we videotape still?
Huh?
Do we still videotape?
Video record.
Just record. I think is good.
Make a little documentary of the small
Throw a
group.
camcorder on your shoulder.
Yes, with probably my phone or the other camera.
Oh.
But it'd be cool to kind of document that, just to see how things
Could
go.
be.
And you'll have to tell me who's in charge of leading that group, and I can get in touch with them, or you can just get in touch with me.
It's the Rubles. You know them.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, Andy and Alyssa Rubel.
I do know them.
Mhm.
I work with them.
You do.
Yeah, so do you.
And it's likely they need a place to host the group because their place is a little small to have kids
Yep.
and families like that. But kind of tentative, like it might be here
Okay.
in the church building, or it might be in a host home. That's still kind of undetermined at this point, but
Who has a very
Yeah.
large home?
will be determined.
The
in a
large
few.
family
Yeah.
room area for
Yeah.
multiple kids.
Yeah.
So
They're fun groups. There's
yeah.
a group. Oh, by the way, shout out to Scott and Heidi Swanson. Had their baby yesterday. I don't
Oh,
know if you know
cool.
that. Had a little girl.
awesome.
Yeah. so-
Congratulations.
yeah, that's cool. But
Do you know the name?
yeah. Well, no, I'm drawing a blank at the first name. Middle name's Grace. Is it
Okay, Grace.
Marianne? I think it was Marianne Grace. I could look it up.
You fact check that.
Fact check us, Andy Rubel, wherever you went. Anyway, like their group, they've run this way for a couple of years, but like men meet 1 week, women meet the opposite week for the study and prayer and that kind of stuff. They do stuff together, throughout the year, like social events for the whole family together. But yeah, that works for them because they got a large group of families with young children. So it's not necessarily like that childcare is an issue as much as bedtime is an issue. So it works. Mom or dad in either week get to go to a small group, and then the other one takes care of bedtime and stuff with kids. And so yeah, there's groups for anybody and everybody all days of the week and all over our area. Rogers, St. Michael, Otsego, Albertville,
Buffalo.
Rockford.
yeah.
Yeah. So online, Zoom.
So make
You
sure
know?
you talk to this guy if you are not in a small group yet. I talked to a newer family this last weekend. They were asking about small groups, so
Yeah.
I gave him your card. He loves talking about small groups. Loves getting people into the best, fit. And he'll be around this weekend at a table, so you can talk to him
Yep.
about that, or you can just email him if you're not going to be here in person. GREGG, 3G.
GREGGT.
T at nrf.life.
Greg GT
Greg
is what how someone repeated it back to me. So like I said, GREGG T.
Greg GT.
I have 2 G's at the end of my name, T. She
Yeah.
goes, so Greg GT.
Yeah,
Like it was my
like a
middle
GT, like
initial.
a Mustang GT.
Yeah. Like my bike.
Sweet. Like your
GT.
bike. Oh, you know what?
Living the
You know what-
dream,
you know
man.
what?
Living the dream.
Have
I
you
wanna
ridden
run
your
such a
bike?
Yes, I have, like 3
Okay.
times.
That's one thing that I told myself in the spring.
You said that last summer.
I know.
We're gonna buy a bike before the summer's
I
over.
know. It's terrible. The weather was so hot.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. I rode my bike on
I would
some of those hot
rather
days.
drive around in the Jeep with the doors off than
Yeah.
ride
Well,
my bike for an
okay.
hour in this sweltering heat. And yeah,
I do not disagree.
next summer. You and me, Greg.
All right.
It's on video,
Okay.
videotaped.
It's videotaped.
Another thing that's going to be here in the atrium, along with small group information, is a table for the worship team. And we're just going to be here to answer any questions about the worship team, but most importantly, to promote this event that we have coming up in a couple weeks on the 16th. It's a worship team gathering, and it's going to be out at the Land of Promise in Buffalo / Albertville, north side of Lake Beebe. And it's a gathering for food, fellowship, and just talking about worship here at Northridge going into the 21-22 season.
What kind of food are you going to have?
I believe it's fried chicken.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I might crash that party.
You have to RSVP. You have to RSVP. So
I can make a joyful noise.
If you go to the website, yeah, you can. You go to the website.
And that joyful noise is me yelling, "Where's the chicken?" Sorry.
Where's the meat? If you go to the website and go to news and events, scroll down, you'll see the graphic for worship team gathering. If you click on that, you can RSVP. There is already like 35 people RSVP'd for it.
Fried chicken.
So go worship team. It's all free. We just want to know if you're going to be there or not so we can have enough delicious food for everybody. And if you have been on the worship team, maybe it's been a few years since you've participated, you are welcome to come. I have not fired anybody. I've not, unless you and I have had a conversation about you wanting to, take a season off or whatever, you are on the worship team. You're part of this ministry that helps bring people into a deeper relationship with God here at Northridge. Musicians, singers, tech team, whether you help with the weekend services or do that with the youth or the kids, you're invited. And I want to make sure that you know that you're invited. Or if you are interested in being a part of the worship team, if you have musical gifts, if you have tech gifts that you want to serve in the tech booth, want to help with the kids or the youth, and you have yet to do that but are interested, come talk to me this weekend at the table, or just sign up for this event. You're welcome to come just to participate, meet some people. Maybe you're newer around here and you just want to meet some people and worship is an area of interest for you. Just come and hang out with us. Would love to be there together with you. There's going to be some invite cards with a QR code that you can scan to RSVP. We'll have those here this weekend, and I'll be around to talk and answer any questions that you might have about it. So that's happening here at Northridge this weekend. Some informational tables here. What else is going around here at Northridge? Any other important news that you can think of, Greg?
One thing I wanted to tell you is how I like to joke and stuff with you a little bit, but we really appreciate you and the worship team and got people that serve that. I mean, week in and week out, it's great. So I know it's sometimes stressful putting a team together and last minute trying to get pieces put together and that, but because you are working with, not just someone who's available, but someone who has the ability to play an instrument or whatever, but I know the church, we really appreciate you and anyone who's on that worship team. So come feel appreciated by getting fried chicken.
Getting food, yeah. And just the one of the big goals for this year for the worship team, for me at least, is to encourage closer relationships with people within the team.
Tammy said it's pulled pork.
Oh, it's pulled pork. Shoot. Well.
Oh, the fried chicken talk out the window.
Pulled pork.
Let's go get fried chicken after this.
See, and then this is the thing is I got a team of people who are working on putting
You should have said, I'm not sure.
All right, I should have said that. Fake news.
If you like fried chicken, come.
Yeah, and eat some pulled pork. Pulled pork's good too, though.
Oh, man. I mean, who doesn't love pulled pork?
But see, that's the thing is I'm the leader of this ministry. I got people who are putting this event together. And, I've delegated this stuff, and which is kind of funny because I don't need to know everything. All I need to know is that you're invited and you should come, and I want you there. So,
yeah.
RSVP, and it's going to be an awesome night. We're going to eat some food, hang out, grow in our relationships with each other, and talk about and pray about what God wants to do at Northridge for worship here this coming year. Anything else? Important news around Northridge that you can think of, Greg?
We covered kickoff. Covered, series. We covered ministry stuff, block party.
Yeah.
I think we covered it all.
Covered
Get
it.
involved. I mean, just jump in, be a part of the team.
Yeah. If you feel comfortable being around people in this time, want to let you know that we'd love to serve with you.
Yeah.
And it's a team thing. None of us are on an island doing this by ourselves, and we need everybody to be part of things.
And I don't know if people realize, staff, we see it week in and week out here, but I'm just going to say every week during the summer we've had visitors. I'm fairly certain every single Sunday we have had visitors. Many Sundays that includes both services, and it includes multiple visiting families at each service. So even though a lot of us kind of dissipate in the summer, a lot of people go out of town on weekends, cabins or what have you, there are people moving into town. There are constantly people coming and checking out the church. And if you're part of Northridge, just jump in and get involved. Like Andy said, we need you as part of the body. And
we had a new family this weekend, Saturday night.
Saturday night.
Yeah, they had like 4 kids.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say their name. Sorry.
Yeah. Is it? Did they walk here?
Yeah. Well,
yeah. Well, they indicated that's how they saw. That's how they found out about Northridge. It said like on a walk or something like that. It was like great.
A cool family.
But yeah, and on Saturday night even, we've had visitors. But one thing we talk about a lot about around Northridge is nobody stands alone. It's one of our values, right? But one thing that we don't mention often, and one of the values is also nobody stands around. Like it's like get busy, like you're part of the body. Like you jump in, serve.
Yeah. Especially if you feel
gifted and you're needed.
If you feel like Northridge is the home for you for church life.
Yep.
Nobody stands around. We're all going to participate. Greg and I obviously get paid because we're on staff, but we're all in this together. We're all kind of on the same, in the same spot. So,
actually, our number one job, Andy, is to equip the body, right?
Yeah.
So, our job is not to do everything, but to make ministry easier for the body to minister.
So, with that comment, that kind of leads me into the thought of if you're sitting there and you have no idea how you want to get involved, but you don't know what to do or what area to serve in, come talk to us. We would love to learn about who you are and what your gifts are, and help you discover what your strengths are, and then find the right place for you to serve. So if you don't know what to do and how to take that next step in serving here at Northridge, by all means, talk to Greg, talk to myself, talk to any of the ministry leaders. We would love to help you take that next step, and I think it'd be a great a growth opportunity for you individually, as well as an opportunity to serve others here at Northridge in the Northridge body. But if you go to the website and you see the family ministry teams, there's all sorts of opportunities there. So yeah, check it out. Let us know. We'd love to get you plugged in and serving here. I'm looking at the website and the news and events, and there's 2 other things on here that I want to bring your attention to. Speaking of small groups, there's a Discovering Northridge small group this fall. I don't know if it's full. If it's up on the website, I'm assuming there's still room.
There's room, yeah.
So if you're newer around Northridge and you want to learn more about what we're about, it's a small group that is run and led by our lead pastor and our executive pastor. Thank you.
Yeah.
Ben and Terry McEachern. That's going to be starting this fall. You can contact the office, and it's at 8-week
small group. Yep.
And it just goes through all the nooks and crannies of what Northridge is about. Everything from our mission and vision to how we live that out here in the life of Northridge. So it is limited. So if you want to go, make sure you get signed up sooner than later.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other thing I will let you know is the men's retreat at Trout Lake Camp, September 17th through the 19th. It's a Friday through Sunday. You go to the actual Trout Lake website, which there's a link on our website to it, to sign up. We can sign up with our Northridge group. It's $125. And if you have questions about that, you can talk to Paul Jonasson or just email men.
Or Josh Zahosky, if you know Josh, is going to kind of coordinate that with us with Paul. Well, for the
retreat,
for Trout, yeah.
Okay,
he's kind of helped coordinate it.
All right.
Yep.
So that's men's retreat at Trout Lake, 17th through the 19th. Is there the women's?
The women's retreat is the following weekend.
It's the following weekend. Okay.
Yeah, and you could actually
So you can go sign up for that as well.
if you have questions about that, you could also talk to Angela Zahosky.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah,
Cool. So that would be the 24th through the 26th.
yeah,
That's the following weekend.
yeah.
So, anything else, Greg, that you can think of the calendar? If you go to the website, there's a church calendar at the bottom of the news and events page, and you can just scroll through that, check it out. If you have any questions, let us know. Give us a call or email us or just talk to us on the weekends. That'd be awesome.
I would be remiss if I did not mention
Remiss.
that last night the Los Angeles Dodgers overtook the evil
You weren't remiss.
San Francisco
You
Giants.
posted it on your Facebook, Greg.
But I didn't mention it here.
Yeah.
The evil San Francisco Giants
Evil.
for first place of the NL West, which could go back and forth here. They have a,
Is that
they have a
because
weekend
the-
series.
Is that more because the Dodgers have been on a roll, or the
Both.
Giants have been kind of on a
They've lost 4 in a row. They got
Yeah.
swept by the Brewers.
little bit of both? That's true.
Yeah.
Well, those freaking Brewers, dude.
Good,
What
man.
the heck?
They got like a 10.5.
They're
game
just
lead.
as surprising to me as the Giants this year.
Mhm. Well, no, they're least surprised. They have some good players and some good pitching.
Mostly pitching. Their
Right.
pitching has been crazy, although they haven't had Freddie Peralta for the last
Yeah.
2 times through because
The Giants are surprising because they don't
Freddie,
have
I think, is coming back this
any big
Friday
name
or Saturday.
prospects that have come up or like that were expected to do great things, and their core veterans are older.
And they're all old. All their core.
Yeah, and the
Kevin Gausman
journeyman
and
pitchers.
Brandon Belt and Brandon Crawford. All these
Posey.
old dudes. Posey, Posey's having a comeback year.
They're that team that it's painful for me to watch because it's the Giants, but it's like they're that team. Every year there's a team that's like starts off hot and you're like, okay, but they fade out in
That's usually
June,
the,
like
the Rays
July.
or
well, the Rays are
the
always
Seattle
good, man.
Mariners. The Seattle Mariners sort of did
Seattle
that this
does that. Like, yeah, there's always a team that's
Yeah.
like, oh, there's a
year.
surprise
Royals,
team.
Royals did that
They
this
fade out
year.
by the All-Star break.
Yeah.
The Giants just keep winning. But anyway, Dodgers
Well,
overtook them.
breathe a sigh of relief, Greg. You guys are in first place.
Well, a half a game, and who knows? That
Feel
could change.
so bad for the
they got a 3-game
defending
series.
champion Dodgers.
You should feel horrible
You know-
for a team with this giant payroll. And
I will say,
do not say they buy the best team money could buy, because the Dodgers, okay, they signed some free agents the last offseason, and he's not even been pitching for for months.
I will say, I love watching Albert Pujols.
Oh,
The
he seems like
dude
he's
is
having so
just-
much fun.
Right? And it's probably It's probably his last year. You think?
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so he's just living it up. I can't imagine what it would be like to be in the dugout, in the clubhouse with him.
Mhm.
And he's just so encouraging. He's got a smile on his face
Yeah.
all the time. He's
They're all
laughing
rooting
and
for
joking
him all the time when he's up. They're all like, yeah,
And he's even doing that with his competition.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
he's just. I think he knows it's his last year, and so he's just soaking it up. But it makes it look so much fun.
If it is his last year for sure, I feel like they should have done like the farewell tour type of thing for him. I mean, I think we forget how incredibly dominant that dude was the first half of his career. The second half has been marred with injuries
But he-
and
but he-
stuck in Anaheim on a bad team.
But he never seems like the guy who I mean, I know Mariano Rivera wouldn't care about that either.
Yeah, but I feel like baseball would do that. You
I
know what I mean? Or
know.
like other teams would acknowledge that.
But Mariano came out early and said, "I'm retired. This is my last year."
Right.
Whereas I think
Right.
Albert could just at the end of the year be like, "I'm
just
retired."
decide he's done. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
'Cause
I get
I
that.
think he wouldn't want that fanfare.
Yeah.
You know. And I remember Mariano just. I'm sure it was uncomfortable every place he. My cousin Jill was actually part of a promotional company that made that chair full of broken bats.
Oh yeah. Yeah. The Twins gave him.
Yep.
Right?
That we
Yeah,
that the
that was
Twins.
sweet.
Yeah. So I'm sure him going to all these different stadiums is a little bit nostalgic, but also very uncomfortable for somebody like Mariano.
Yeah,
because he was
kinda
never like
seems
the
like a humble,
hype-
quiet
right.
guy. Yeah.
Although he's doing commercials these days, which
Is
is
he?
kind of weird.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever seen any commercials of them
I
on.
don't think I have.
But yeah, Albert Pujols, King Pujols.
That guy was
King
amazing,
Albert.
man. With the Cardinals, oh my gosh, his number. Like we talk about Mike Trout, and he has numbers on par with
Like
Trout.
I gave
Well,
up.
people
I
talk
gave
about
up
how
like
great
half
he
my
is. Like,
half my awesome pitching staff
yeah,
for
and
Mike
he's been-
Trout
that
in
was rough.
fantasy baseball.
that was
and
rough.
He's probably going to get shut down for the rest of the year. So.
Yeah, my other league, my pitching was Trevor Bauer. My keepers, I had 3 keepers. I kept Trevor Bauer, DeGrom, and Garrett Cole. And Cole had a couple of rough starts there after they took away the sticky stuff, but he's been pretty good. He was
Good last night.
last night. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, 2 of my 3
although
are.
I'm a year late, maybe 2 years late on Robbie Ray winning the Cy Young.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because I talk.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
made that bold prediction a couple years ago, and you're like Robbie. Then
Whatever.
he was terrible. But this year,
But he's on the Diamondbacks. I didn't want to admit anything good about the Diamondbacks.
but this year, he could win the Cy Young.
yeah, he could.
I
A
think
lot of people have him as the front runner.
Yep, him
for
and
the
Garrett
AL.
Cole for the American League
Yeah.
Cy Young. So I was off by a couple years.
He'll get all the vote of the people who hate the Yankees and B think Cole was like one of the biggest users of sticky
Sure.
stuff. But Cole's proven that he's doing pretty well without it right now. There's an adjustment period,
Yeah.
or he's just using something else that who knows, whatever.
All right. Well, the last thing I was going to ask you about is with school coming up, and I don't have kids, but you do,
Yep.
and you actually have a teacher in the house as well.
Yeah.
What are your hot
She's
tips?
6 years old.
Who?
I
What?
said she's 6 years old. No, like
Your teacher?
no,
Oh,
she runs the
Riley.
Riley, just kind of the boss. No.
Any hot tips
Yes.
for parents with kids going back to school?
Um,
What are your like,
hot tips, huh?
I don't know. What are your
Buy him a new backpack.
life hacks? Anything like that?
Okay, well, ironically, we're not doing it this year, but one thing that Jordan's done that she did a couple years ago that was really helpful was these little magnet boards, and Riley wasn't in school yet, so it was the boys, but they each had their own little magnet board, and it had 10 little magnets on it, and there was like ones, if you're looking at it, this side, all the magnets are lined up to do, and then this side was done, and it was like brush your teeth, get dressed, comb your hair, all the things you need to do, pack your lunch, all the stuff you have to do to get out the house for school. And once they could carry it around with them, and they could slide the magnet over to done, and that was helpful.
Were those the boards that Jordan put up on?
Yeah, she put it. Someone already has claimed them, but
Okay.
yeah, she put them on the I need. Those were really helpful while we used
Are those
them,
pictures
so
still up there though?
They might be.
Because at least you
Yeah.
have sort of an example of how to create them.
It is hard to see what's on the magnets. I noticed on the picture, you zoom in, you kind of, it's fuzzy, you can't really see.
Sure.
But it is the general things that you want your kids to do before they go to school, right? Like get dressed, comb your hair, brush your teeth, pack your lunch, get your backpack, pick up 5 things. I think we had one, so clean up a little bit.
Any
you
5
miss.
things?
Yeah, I think it was just pick up 5, clean up.
Can you
5
do 5
things, your things, like in other
5
words, put some of
individual
your stuff
Legos?
away. Yeah, the boys learned really quickly. Oh, I got 5 Legos. That's 5 things. But yeah, whatever. Whatever you want it to be. But that was helpful, and it was helpful for the kids to know this is what I still have to do to get out the door. So there's that. You know what? Someone a couple of years ago made an excellent point. The first week of school we kind of overlook how stressful that is for kids and how tired they get because they're not used to using their brain that much, day in and day out, and just getting back into waking up early and that sort of thing. So someone said, do not schedule anything that Friday night after that first week of school. That Friday evening, just let them just veg, do a movie night at home or something very just chill, relaxing. Take it easy that Saturday. Hey, we got the block party. It's easy, fun. Just come out, have fun.
Just come here and let your kids go
let
crazy
your
here.
kids just unstructured
There's
nonsense.
be plenty of adults, plenty of people to watch them.
Yeah, Andy will watch all your kids.
It's this year for the block party. Normally, I'm doing like a bunch of DJ stuff and speaking and giving prizes away. I don't have to do any of that. I can just kind of float, get ready for the service that night. So I'll just be floating around and hanging out,
taking notes on which kids are doing wrong stuff and then reporting back to the parents. No,
I don't do
thought
that.
was
Actually,
great
I
advice.
cause trouble, if anything.
Because I think by the end of that first week, especially, kids are just breaking down. It's just a lot, and it's a lot for parents. So don't put that on yourself.
Probably more emotionally than physically.
Yeah, no, for sure. And you're just tired. So make sure there's, make that Friday night very simple, dinner and just relax. And then don't do anything too structured or strenuous that weekend, just to kind of give their body and their brain a chance to just veg and just recoup. So I thought that was good advice. We saw that a couple years ago, and I'm sure there's lots of good stuff out there. If you have good advice for the first week of school for kids, share it in comments. Those are two things that I will say were good.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else, Greg?
Probably. I don't know.
Anything else you'd like to just say or talk about?
I got a lot on my mind, Annie. No, not really.
Okay.
I got my enhanced ID today and my driver's license. I had to go renew my license.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to do that before you went out to...
I was going to, and then Jordan wisely reminded me of, hey, do you want to go through TSA with the, paperwork?
Oh, yeah.
Because they
Don't
punch
do
a
that.
hole in your license.
Because then they will full body screen you every single time.
Yep. And I didn't want to do anything extra because we were already at the airport at 4 a.m. So I was like, So I rescheduled. Just did it this morning.
Yeah, you have a smart wife.
Yeah, I do.
A couple years ago, I lost my wallet the week before I went to Hawaii. And
Worst case scenario,
I
man.
know. I had to do that
Yeah.
every stop. And we not only were we going over to the islands and coming back, but we also went over to the islands, took another plane over to the other islands, took that plane, came back to this island, came
with
the
paperwork and
islands
TSA.
back to the mainland. And so at every one of those, so I think about 7 times total, you had to do the whole thing. Guy's like, I'm gonna run the back of my hand up and down here and all in there, and it's like So
I rescheduled. So
good call.
Yeah, thanks.
Good call.
Good
All
call,
right.
wife.
Yes. It's been good. Can't wait to be heading into the fall with y'all this fall.
It's fall, y'all.
Yeah. It's good to be back.
Yeah. No fried chicken.
We'll be trying to do this. Yeah,
Steph
sorry
Richmond
for,
said no fried
sorry for
chicken.
that.
Pulled pork and all the fixins.
Yes.
Yeah. Good to be back, though.
Yep. So we'll be doing more of these. If you have anything interesting that you'd like to hear us talk about, email Greg T at nrf.life.
That's Greg GT.
That's GREG GT at nrf.life, and we will try to touch up on any of these important topics that you want to talk about. Otherwise, come back next week, hear more about Northridge stuff. So have a good one.